Nathan bolted up to Declan's desk and put both hands on the surface. "How long have you known Rourke McKenna was coming to Shakedown?" He was beyond any small talk. Never his strong suit anyway. They'd known each other a damn long time. Long enough for Declan to have told him a former nemesis had shown up. "A few months." Declan tapped his fingers against the edge of his desk. Nathan might just crawl out of his skin. He rose to his full height and peered down at him. "And you didn't think to mention the older brother of the man I killed was in the club?" Declan sighed. Swear to God, if Declan started to patronize him. "How'd they find you?" "Us." "I'm not sure how they found us. Baltimore's a small place." Declan straightened his jacket and rounded the desk. "Thought we were done years ago. That we were off the radar screen, but they discovered I owned Shakedown. 3 months ago, I got a visit. He wants us back in business together." "With you?" Of course I turned him down. They deal in import-export. Now they want to go into entertainment? Then again, the McKenna family wanted in on anything successful up and down the East Coast. That much he'd learned from the newspapers. Not much to do in prison but read and work out and wait for the next surprise attack. If they want revenge, why'd they wait so long? I mean, I've been here for 3 months. Then again, they hadn't waited, had they? His joints ached at the memories. Being dragged into a dark cell and pummeled by fists. Being jumped in the men's room, his head rammed against porcelain and tiles. He'd learned to fight back in any way he could, but he'd always been outnumbered. No wonder he walked around with a case of what his counselor had blasely referred to as the usual PTSD. Humiliating anxiety attacks that left him irrationally enraged and prone to violence. Declan shrugged. "Rourke doesn't come often. We believe he hasn't seen you until tonight. Now, they want to take over Shakedown to punish you for giving me a job." "Nathan, I owe you. Let me handle this." "You can't, Declan. One doesn't handle the McKennas. I've got to get out of here." Nathan spun. Every fiber of his body needed out. Never again would he be taken by surprise like he had been so many times behind bars. 9 years of regular beatings turned a man into something no one wanted. All rough edges and no impulse control to curb the savage energy that lived inside him. Prison had earned him nothing but a graduate degree in unfettered violence. You can't take on the McKennas either. Besides, where are you going to go? Declan's voice had risen. At least here you've got friends. His statement was a sucker punch to the gut. He had nowhere to go. He left prison with $20 in his pocket and a pair of jeans and a shirt that no longer fit him. He had more now, thanks to Declan, but not enough to leave town. He paused at the door and curled his hand around the doorknob, wanting to crush it in his fist. You're buying a lot of trouble. Like I said, I owe you. Consider the debt paid. He headed to the office he shared with Max, a ridiculous perk to begin with because what does the muscle need an office for? He'd think about his next step. He yanked open the door. Star leaned against the far wall, her nose buried in a rose. She cocked her head and lowered the flower. Jackie said you were with Declan. Drink? I owe you one. For rescuing me earlier. A drink? Nothing sounded better. Screw the moratorium on alcohol. If any night called for liquor, it was tonight.